Some people think being nice is the ultimate superpower. Everyone likes you, no one complains, and the world sees you as the friendly, dependable one. But what if I told you being too nice can slowly eat you alive? Today we're counting down the hidden, dangerous costs of being the nice person. Because behind that smile, there's a storm brewing. Number 7, the invisible anger sponge. Imagine being the office sponge, not for cleaning, but for emotions. Every time someone snaps, rolls their eyes, or unloads their frustration, you soak it up. Your coworker missed a deadline, they vent to you. Your friend cancels plans again, you swallow the disappointment. At first it feels noble, even powerful. Look at me handling everything, keeping the peace. But sponges don't last forever. They rot, they stink, and they fall apart when they're oversaturated. And when you've been soaking up everyone else's negativity for too long, the same thing happens to you. Niceness works the same way. If you never let your real feelings out, the anger festers until it leaks in awkward, unexpected ways. Sarcasm slips into your words. You start feeling secretly resentful when others succeed, especially the ones you've helped. You sit there with a smile on your face, but bitterness brewing in your chest. And then, when you finally snap, it shocks everyone. Because you were supposed to be the chill one. You were supposed to be easy, calm, dependable. But inside, you were drowning. This hidden anger isn't about hating others. It's about hating yourself for never speaking up, for always swallowing the truth. That's the hidden tax of always being agreeable. It's not free. It costs you your peace, your authenticity, and sometimes even your relationships. Number 6, the doormat dilemma. Picture this. Someone wipes their muddy shoes on your welcome mat. You're annoyed, but you let it slide. Next time, they do it again. Eventually, they don't even ask permission. They just expect it. That's what happens when you make endless sacrifices in the name of niceness. You stay late at work to finish someone else's project, while your own to-do list grows longer. You lend money you don't have, because saying no feels selfish. You run errands for people who could easily do them themselves, convincing yourself it's just helping. At first, they say thank you. Over time, they don't even notice. Your kindness stops being generosity and becomes expectation. That's how nice people end up burned out, broke and bewildered, staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. and wondering, how did I become everyone's backup plan? The answer is simple. You kept opening the door and laying down the mat. The problem isn't kindness itself, it's kindness without limits. Because when you never draw a line, people forget there was ever supposed to be one. And the world loves a doormat because it never argues back, it never resists, it never demands. But here's the catch. The longer you play that role, the harder it becomes to stand up without shocking everyone who got used to stepping on you. And when you finally do, they won't see strength, they'll see betrayal. That's the cruel irony of the doormat dilemma. Number 5, the chameleon curse. Niceness often comes with a secret skill, the ability to blend in anywhere. You laugh at jokes you don't actually find funny. You nod along to opinions you don't agree with. You soften your own voice so others feel comfortable. And before long, you're whoever the other person needs you to be. And it works. People like you. They invite you in. They call you easygoing. They say you're so easy to get along with. But here's the dark side. They don't actually know you. They know a character you've been performing. The more you shape-shift, the fuzzier your own identity becomes. Do I really like this music? Or am I pretending because they do? Do I actually believe in this idea, or am I just afraid of conflict? After years of this, your own reflection can feel like a stranger. Niceness turns into camouflage. And while camouflage keeps you safe, it also keeps you invisible. You become a ghost in your own story, haunting conversations instead of living in them. And the haunting question follows you everywhere. If I stopped pleasing people, would they still like me? Or would they leave? That's the loneliness of the chameleon curse. You're surrounded by people, yet constantly wondering if they like you, or just the mask you wear. Number 4, the burnout badge. Let's be honest, nice people are society's favorite workers and friends. Need someone to cover a late-night shift? Ask the nice one. Need a volunteer for the most boring project in the office? Ask the nice one. Need a friend to babysit your cat while you disappear to Bali? You already know who's going to say yes. And here's the trap. Saying yes feels good at first. You feel useful, dependable, even loved. You get that tiny dopamine hit of being needed. But each yes slices off a little piece of your own energy, your own time, your own life. Before you know it, you're stretched thin, running on fumes, and carrying everyone else's responsibilities on your back. The irony is that people stop seeing your sacrifices. They don't see the late nights, the drained weekends, the mounting exhaustion. They just see the role you play, the helper, the filler, the one who always delivers. And the more reliable you are, the more invisible you become. Burnout becomes your hidden badge of honor, except no one's giving out medals for it. You collapse at the end of the day, staring at the ceiling, wondering when your life stopped being your own and turned into a never-ending to-do list for everyone else. That's the painful truth. Niceness here isn't kindness, it's self-erasure dressed up as generosity. And by the time you realize it, you've already given away pieces of yourself that no one will ever give back. Number 3, the guilt trap. For nice people, the word no is scarier than a horror movie villain hiding in the closet. The very thought of disappointing someone, even in the smallest way, sends your brain into panic mode. Say no to a dinner invite, they'll think you're selfish. Decline a work favor, they'll hate you, maybe even plot against you. So instead, you say yes, again and again. Even when your calendar is already bursting, even when you're exhausted and secretly want to scream into a pillow. The guilt is irrational, but it's powerful. It convinces you that self-care is selfish, that protecting your time is betrayal, that boundaries are just another word for letting people down. And guilt isn't a polite guest. It doesn't knock and leave. It lingers, whispering in your ear like a parasite. Second guess this. Apologize for that. Overthink everything. You feel guilty for resting, guilty for not replying instantly, guilty for daring to prioritize yourself. And the cruel irony is that the more guilt controls you, the more resentment brews underneath. You start resenting others for asking, but even more, you resent yourself for not having the courage to say no. Niceness turns into a prison, the bars forged out of guilt, and the saddest part? You're holding the key the whole time, but you're too afraid to use it because freedom feels like betrayal. Number 2, the forgotten self. This is where the story gets tragic. When you're always nice, always accommodating, always agreeable, you slowly stop living your own life. You pick restaurants based on what your friends want, even though you secretly hate sushi. You watch TV shows because your partner loves them, while your own interests collect dust. You rearrange your schedule for everyone else's convenience until your days are filled with obligations that aren't even yours. And then one day, you look in the mirror and realize you don't even know what your own preferences are anymore. You've spent so much time making others comfortable that you've forgotten how to choose for yourself. It's like living in a house where every single room is decorated by someone else, and you're just the caretaker, never the owner. People think they know you, but all they really know is your kindness. They don't know your passions, your real opinions, your raw edges. because you've hidden them so long, you barely remember them yourself. Niceness, unchecked, erases your identity one compromise at a time, until one day you wake up a stranger wearing your own name. And the scariest part? You might not even notice the loss happening until you're already gone. And the you that remains is just a polite shadow of who you were meant to be. Number 1, the secret resentment bomb. Being the nice person doesn't stop human emotions. Anger, disappointment, frustration, they don't vanish just because you slap on a smile and say, "It's fine." They don't disappear. They go underground, buried deep beneath your politeness like dynamite hidden under the floorboards. And the thing about buried bombs is simple. They don't stay dormant forever. The resentment builds in silence, drip by drip, moment by moment, until the pressure is unbearable. At first, it leaks out in tiny ways. Passive-aggressive jokes that sound like humor, but sting a little too much. That sharp edge in your tone that surprises even you. Or conveniently forgetting to follow through on a favor you never wanted to do in the first place. But eventually, the cracks can't hold it anymore, and the explosion comes. The nice person who never raised their voice suddenly erupts in rage, slamming doors, shouting, or cutting people off completely, and everyone around them is stunned. Where did that come from? "You're always so nice?" That's the danger. Niceness doesn't eliminate anger. It just delays it, compresses it, and amplifies it until it detonates in the worst possible way. And the fallout isn't just messy, it's devastating. Trust gets shattered. Relationships you worked so hard to protect are suddenly scorched, not because you didn't care, but because you cared too much without ever caring for yourself. The cruel irony is that all those years of keeping the peace, of swallowing your truth, of bending until you broke, were supposed to keep people close. But the bomb doesn't care about your intentions. When it goes off, it doesn't just destroy your calm facade, it damages the very bonds you were trying to protect. That's the final dark cost of being the nice person. You don't just betray yourself, you risk losing the very people you wanted so badly to keep. So here's the truth. Kindness is powerful, but niceness without boundaries? That's a slow form of self-destruction. The world doesn't need more doormats, more sponges, more chameleons hiding their real selves. The world needs people who can be kind while still being honest, generous without being exploited, caring without disappearing. That balance isn't selfish, it's survival. Because if you keep abandoning yourself in the name of niceness, you'll wake up one day realizing the person you worked so hard to please never really existed. And that person was you. If you've ever felt trapped by your own niceness, know this: you're not alone. Many people fall into this pattern, but change starts with one word: no. Every time you say it, you reclaim a piece of yourself. Every time you set a boundary, you remind the world that kindness and self-respect can live side by side. That's not weakness. That's strength. That's real kindness. And if this hit home for you, don't just click away. Stick around. We've got more videos coming on the hidden truths of the human mind, relationships, and the ways we sabotage ourselves without even realizing it. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like if this resonated, and share it with that one friend who needs a reminder that being nice shouldn't mean being invisible. Because sometimes the nicest thing you can do for yourself and for others is to finally show up as who you really are.